So like a lot of other people, I've seen the Barbie movie. And like a lot of other people, I was really moved by America Ferrera's big speech. And it got me thinking about some of the contradictions of being a plus size person. So I wanted to shout them into the void. You have to like yourself, but not too much because that's glorifying obesity, but not too little because then you have low self-esteem. And who's ever going to like you if you don't like yourself? You have to date, but you can't reject anyone because you should be grateful that anyone is giving you any kind of attention or being attracted to you. But you also can't settle because then you don't value yourself. You can't complain that you're fat because it's your fault that you're fat. But then when you bring up things like PCOS, hormonal issues, eating disorders, then you're just making excuses. You have to eat, but not too much because people are going to point it out if you eat too much. But if you eat too little, then people are going to congratulate you on starving yourself and trying to lose weight. You have to eat, but not salads because who are you kidding? But also not a burger because then you're just a stereotype. You have to be okay with people making fun of you, mostly behind your back. But then the second that you laugh at yourself or make fun of yourself, they're going to be angry because you're taking away some of their power by laughing at yourself and seeing that you are the joke, and they can't take power from that if you're willing to laugh at yourself. You have to be okay with how often skinny people throw on fat suits just to be funny, and how most of the time skinny actors are hired and put into fat suits instead of fat actors being hired. You have to be put together and not sloppy because then you're just another part of the stereotype of being fat and lazy. But you also can't complain about the price that you pay for plus size clothing. You just have to be grateful that there's plus size clothing at all, even though a lot of the time it's only online. And God forbid you do lose weight, because then you'll realize that people treat you better as a skinny person than they ever did as a fat person. And on top of all of that, which I haven't even covered in this video, you can make a video venting some of your frustrations, and people will crawl out of the woodwork and go out of their way to make nasty comments to you. And yet they'll say that thin privilege isn't a thing while they are actively trying to make you feel bad about existing and being fat in this world. There are people who don't want fat people like me to exist. And that in and of itself is enough to make you feel a little bit worthless. But I do exist, and I'm not going anywhere.
But there are also people who don't want my channel to exist. Just don't whine and try to improve and better yourself. Don't be delusional. There is nothing to accept about fat.
I cried watching the Barbie movie because I've never felt pretty.
I could listen to this all day cause I've never been able to put words to it.
Nobody is born obese. Instead, weight gain has a tendency to sneak up on us.
Yeah, no, I don't really do mud.
But you're a garden fairy!
Ironic, isn't it?
Undereating or eating at irregular times can also cause weight gain. Feel ya sis, you're beautiful.
If you don't eat enough, you're gaining weight too.
Apparently the one meal has at least 3,000 calories.
For a very small number of obese individuals, there is a clear genetic cause for their weight. Up to 5% of extreme obesity starting in childhood can be traced back to mutations in the gene encoding the melanocortin-4 receptor.
So because I won't tell you why I'm fat, you think that I'm now mentally ill or it's a mental condition, when I've talked about my mental struggles and my mental illnesses on here anyway. And first you want to go and make fun of my body, you want to say you don't want to look at me, and then now you're making fun of my mental health? What is wrong with you? Like, why are you so miserable that you need to project all of this nonsense onto me, a person existing on the internet that has nothing to do with you? Like, I just don't comprehend that. You are the one who needs to get help, sweetie. Okay? And you're the one who needs to stop bothering strangers on the internet because you can't deal with your stuff yourself.
Stop it. Get some help.
I'm fat because I love food and I'm not gonna live my life hungry, so WTF of it? Lol.
Fact. Mothers who have a BMI greater than 35 had a 23% greater risk of having a baby with malformations than those with a normal BMI.
Gwen, what's wrong?
I got shiny pants!
And what's wrong with your shiny pants?
Someone could have a duck in my cooter!
And what did you learn, Gwenna?
There's a reason it's hard to find shiny pants for girls who can start a fire with their thigh!
You wear those pants and have your kids wear some of those squeaky shoes, lol. You can be your own little band.
This is the reason I don't wear pleather or similar pants. Sat down and foof. It wasn't me.
Fact. In most countries, obesity kills more people than starvation does.
Let's talk about diets that don't work. Keto was made for epileptic children. Intermittent fasting is just a fun way of saying I'm starving myself. Juice cleanses are just a really expensive way to drink your fruit instead of eat it. Any MLM 30-day detox bullshit is just a way to shit your pants and spend a lot of money. Noom is basically MyFitnessPal, but you're just paying more for it, and they pretend to have a psychological component, but really it's just health coaches that have no background on nutrition. Calorie restriction, or just restricting food in general, works until you become really fucking hungry and end up eating everything in sight and develop a horrible relationship with food. Whole30 is just a fancy way of restricting yourself for 30 days and then binging out of control on day 31. So if you want advice from a registered dietitian, dieting literally doesn't work, and 2/3 of dieters will gain more weight than they originally lose. You're best off creating a healthy relationship with food and learning how to trust your body again. Intuitive eating.
But don't obese people eat intuitively?
1 year on keto, then 2 years low carb. Lost half my weight and have kept it off. Why don't we just let people do what works for them? Not y'all trying to argue with someone who has a degree in this.
Obesity fact. Babies born to obese mothers are more likely to be large at birth, a phenomenon called macrosomia.
Why sleep in separate rooms? The reason we sleep in separate rooms, okay, is because I snore heavily. I'm like... And then literally Sienna's like, oh my God, can you stop, please? Just get up. I'm so done. That's it, leave. So we thought, you know what? We've got 5 bedrooms. We might as well utilise them. Do you know what I mean? So she sleeps in one. I sleep in another one. Everyone's happy. We get a good night's sleep. We've got a healthy relationship. We love each other very much. Get over it. You know, I mean, it is what it is. A lot of people do it, and a lot of people have a happy marriage forever and ever. I've already mentioned this many times before. It doesn't mean everything. You know, we still have central times. We still have the naughty little, like, you know, we have the fun times still, okay? Don't get too emotional, trolls. I know it's true. Yeah, I know it's hard. But yeah, basically, we just sleep in separate rooms because it's better for our marriage. It's better for everyone to have a good night's sleep. I mean, let's be honest. No one wants to keep getting woken up every 10 seconds by me snoring or by her waking me up saying, get up. You know what I mean? It's just no need. There's no need. Just sleep in separate bedrooms. It'll be a healthy marriage for you and everything.
Snoring and obstructive sleep apnea are 2 health risks associated with overweight and obesity.
They don't make beds big enough, unfortunately.
That's what she tells you.
What can obesity lead to? Heart disease, type 2 diabetes, cancer, gynecological and sexual problems.
So, for those who don't know, just because you're fat doesn't mean you're immune to fat phobia, okay? I'm fat, and I used to be fat phobic, and guess what? I unlearned that, because I don't want to be an asshole for the rest of my life to everyone else. I don't want to be the one who judges people. I don't want to be like you, because you're asking me for my medical information that you are not privy to. I don't want to be like you. I used to be like you, and then I changed myself to not be a fucking asshole. Just because you're fat doesn't make you immune to fat phobia. Actually, a lot of fat people are fat phobic too. Especially to themselves and especially to other people. Because when you're fat phobic, you hate fat people, and if you're fat, then you hate yourself. But if you're not smart enough up here, then you can't even realize that, and therefore you project your fat phobia onto other people. You project your own self-hatred onto other people because of your own fat phobia. Now, if you can't connect those dots, then I cannot help you, and you need to leave my page.
You are an attention seeker. And watch your mouth. Cussing isn't sexy either.
Today, we're diving into an important and sensitive topic: understanding the health implications of obesity. It's crucial to approach this subject with empathy and facts. We'll explore how excess weight impacts our bodies and why addressing obesity is essential for overall well-being.
Brands really be wondering about plus sizes don't sell, but if you want plus sizes to sell, why you keep making them ugly as hell? Why do I gotta get it in the mail? Why can't I go to the store like everybody else? Everybody else, they got it on the shelf, they got it on the rack, they got it in the bag. I gotta wait for the stock online. Baby, why? When I am this fine, ooh, baba, 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 baba. Sell the plus sizes, sell the plus sizes, sell the plus sizes, sell the plus sizes. This an advertisement, this an advertisement, this an advertisement, advertisement for the plus sizes, 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 for the plus. I need some backup dancers, some backup singers.
Take a breath.
Seriously, anything cute isn't in my size. So I end up looking like Adam Sandler.
When is this dropping on Spotify?
Obesity can lead to various health issues. Excess body weight strains vital organs, putting individuals at higher risk for heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, and certain cancers. Carrying extra weight can also lead to joint problems, making physical movement challenging and painful.
I love snarky comments that disprove themselves. Dude, skinnies don't care about the fatties unless they're on an airplane, my guy. Then what are you doing here? You don't care about us fatties? What are you doing here?
Dude, go in the comment section of any fat creator on here and you'll see you're wrong.
Addressing obesity isn't about shaming or judgment, it's about promoting a healthier life. Obesity-related conditions strain healthcare systems and, most importantly, impact individual lives. Encouraging healthier lifestyles, inclusive environments, and accessible resources can make a positive difference.
But you also talk over people who try to explain their own experiences just because they're smaller than you.
Okay, I just went camping with girl guides all weekend, so I'm very tired. 3 hours and 5 hours of sleep. So I'm going to try not to be that rude with my voice and my condescending tone, okay? But to educate you, here we go. For the millionth fucking time, the community that I have created on here and on my Instagram and my other apps, the communities I've created on social media, guess what? They're not for you. The communities I've created are for fucking fat people. They're for fatties. They're not for thin people who want to talk over us. If you're a thin person and you want me to validate you for your thinness, this community I have created, this is not the place for it. So if you think that me saying this isn't, this community's not for you, if you think that is me talking over someone, then sure, I'm a fucking hypocrite. You think that. I think I'm the villain because I created a community for fat people.
So you educate only fat people? Okay.
The internet is not a safe space. When you voice your opinions to thousands of people, don't be shocked when some of them disagree.
Understanding the challenges individuals face and providing accessible resources can help create a compassionate environment. Supportive communities and healthcare systems play a pivotal role in helping individuals manage their weight and overall health.
Happy Halloween, everyone! I know, I look fucking weird as fuck right now. I am with my
You're right. You do look weird as fuck. It's weird as fuck to put on a fat suit and make that your costume in 2023. It's also weird that it happens to be a sloppy fat person. If you're going to put on a fat suit, you could have picked any of the iconic fat people in history. including myself.
But wouldn't that also be weird?
I don't know. I just find it incredibly disappointing and distasteful. I know I saw in other comments you said that your weight fluctuated, so you didn't find this costume offensive. But I'm here to tell you, as a really fat person, that it is offensive. And the thing is, it's not even good. It wasn't even good. It's not even funny. Like, as a gay, I wasn't watching that gagged. I wasn't like, oh, that's a look. I want to do that. I'm inspired. It just gave ick. So I would just urge you and anyone out there watching that in the future thinks that wearing a fat suit and, you know, dressing up as a fat person is funny and all of the things that run through your weird brain.
Everything bothers you.
Your weird brain. It's not. It's not. We are not costumes. Unless, you know, you want to pick Miss Piggy, Divine. I could keep going. Look, I saw a ton of people do Melissa McCarthy in Bridesmaids. Hilarious. But it really wasn't about her size. It was about the character. But hey, I don't know. Maybe there is an MTA worker on there that, you know, you were inspired by. But it wasn't funny. And it was sloppy. I don't know. Do better. Or don't. I don't know. Happy Halloween!
I honestly think you get more beautiful every time I see you. I think I first saw you on Torrid as one of the models.
Maybe you should do better. Then you won't be offended when someone dress up as fat person.
In conclusion, it's essential to recognize the complexities surrounding obesity and work together to promote health and wellness for everyone. Let's foster understanding, provide support, and encourage healthier choices. By embracing empathy and knowledge, we can create a world where everyone has the opportunity to lead a healthy, fulfilling life.
And so there's a video that's going viral from the 1960s talking about PTSD.
People are shocked at what American high school gym class looked like in the 1960s. This footage is from one of the 4,000 U.S. high schools that followed La Sierra's physical education program that was pushed to be the standard model by JFK. According to the La Sierra physical education standards that were outlined in their 1966 handbook, the minimum push-ups that a student should be able to do is 16, and they should have at least a 7.5-minute mile run. Considering most modern Americans struggle to even complete 5 push-ups, this 16 minimum is quite shocking. The top group that was outlined in the handbook is Blue Team, and to be a part of this you had to be able to perform 12 handstand push-ups.
JFK, man.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Should we go back in time?
What is crazy about that?
And now we have people identifying as fucking potato.
Welcome to a day in the life of a fat activist. I start the day off feeding my cat some treats because she needs to know that unless she's fat, I won't love her. Then I took a bath because I am far too lazy to stand and need to preserve all the calories that I can for the day. Then I filmed some TikToks, making sure to glorify obesity and show everyone how cool and trendy it is to be fat. On my way to the doctor's, I stopped at Dunkin' and got the sugariest coffee possible and ate 24 donuts. At the doctor, I made sure he knew that I knew more than him, and I berated him over any medical advice or testing he wanted to do. After that, I headed to my yoga class, where instead of taking the class, I sat in the back and yelled at everyone, telling them to stop exercising and to get fat instead. Because being skinny is bad. Cheers. Stay fat, y'all.
Is this satire?
8% of Earth's mass.
Her heart is begging for mercy.
If diabetes was a person.
The prevalence of obesity has been increasing in recent decades, and it is now estimated that 1 in 3 adults worldwide are overweight or obese. Stay safe.
Hi, I have ADHD and I didn't know that until like a few years ago. So yes, I do have a hard time regulating my emotions. Nice to meet ya. I don't understand what your point is. Anyone who has seen my past videos can conclude this too.
It has been hypothesized that obesity may lead to ADHD symptoms via sleep-disordered breathing.
And that is your burden, not everyone else's.
The cost of obesity is significant, with an estimated annual global cost of over $2 trillion.
I'm fat because I drink too much red wine and I don't exercise enough.
That's not true. You're not fat because of what you eat and how much exercise you do. That is the line that everybody is led to believe.
Left you now and ran up and down Leicester Square for 3 hours and then went home and had a piece of lettuce and then came in and did the same tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. I would start to look like a supermodel.
Only for a few months, and then you would stop. In fact, you would start regaining weight within the first year. That is a fact. That's not fiction. That is an absolute fact. And there is literally no evidence that weight loss is going to benefit anybody's health, whether they're a child or an adult. I'm willing to stake my medical career on the fact that that the lies that we've been sold about obesity, especially childhood obesity, are not true. They are there to benefit the weight loss industry, not to benefit children. Evidence is very clear. Up to 98% of people that attempt weight loss will have regained all the weight within 5 years. That is up to 98% of people, and that is absolutely unquestionable. Second thing, this idea that energy in and energy out and energy calorie deficits.
So you're telling me unlimited ice cream won't make me fat?
Giving themselves permission to fail. Yeah, none of my problems have ever been my fault either.
But if you lose even a small amount of weight, you'll reap benefits that will make a big difference in your health. The magic number is 5% of your total body weight.
Dude, put that thing away. There are like children here.
Went from lesbian to straight real fast.
Preventing obesity is the best way to reduce its burden on individuals and society.
That's next level obesity strats right there.
We need to create environments that support healthy eating and physical activity.
Hello, I am fat. I need clothes that are functional and cool. We don't make those in your size. Fuck you. I deserve nice clothes. I think I will start making them myself. We don't make patterns in your size. Fuck you. There aren't very many pattern companies that go up to my size, so I can't find what I need. I think I'll start pattern drafting. We don't make resources for fat people. Fuck you. Cool beans.
This sounds like a business opportunity.
I felt this on spiritual level.
Support from family, friends, and healthcare professionals is important for successful weight loss.
Hi, my name is Rosie, and I was groomed into feederism. Feederism is a kink, like a sexual kink regarding feeding someone generally for the purpose of them being fat or gaining weight. There's a big umbrella when it comes to feederism. And the thing about this guy is I think he was into what's called death feederism, and death feederism is what it sounds like. It's feeding someone to the point of getting so fat and so big that they die.
Feederism is a fat fetish subculture in which individuals eroticize weight gain and feeding. Feeders are individuals who claim to become sexually aroused by feeding their partners and encouraging them to gain weight.
Pathetic. We are at the point in our civilized society that this is a thing.
There are many resources available to help people lose weight and keep it off.
No, dirty. That's what a natural body look like. And if you don't like it, close your eyes and don't open them again. Next time you breathe, don't.
What do you mean natural body looks like that?
Hash must be something in the food. Definitely not natural, it was made. Hit the gym, the more weight you lose, the more feminine and less aggressive you will be. Good luck.
Making small changes to your diet and lifestyle can make a big difference in your weight loss journey.
I accidentally ordered 3 plates of chicken katsu. I was too shy to cancel, so I ate them all. I still felt hungry, so I got a healthy salad. This meal was after the gym, so the calories don't count. Stay skinny, besties.
Show us some footage of you in a gym for once.
I also accidentally being a skinny.
Don't give up on yourself if you have setbacks.
I often heed a lot of questions about self-love and body maintenance as a fat person. As fat people, we are constantly surrounded by media that erases our existence. Not only does that put us at a disadvantage with regards to body image, impacting the way we view ourselves and other fat folks, but it also means that we're deprived of so much education around our bodies and wellness as people who are living in non-normative bodies, because our needs are unique and maybe different than the needs of thin people. My answer when people come to me and ask me how I'm able to live such a full life in a fat body is always that we need to interrogate the media that we're consuming and to disrupt our mindless consumption of images and narratives that are put out there to keep us spiraling about the way that we look, instead of figuring out how to live our best lives in the bodies that we have today. I'm always looking for new sources of body diverse content that can help us see people doing the things that we do in bodies that look like ours. And one of those things is porn, because as fat people, we do have sex.
God loves you.
There is hope for a healthier future.
This is a village where being overweight is considered beautiful. Every woman here weighs over 200 pounds. If you're not over 200 pounds, you not only lose face, but also have trouble finding a spouse. Marrying a plump wife is every man's dream. Having a well-rounded wife not only brings prestige, but also signifies wealth and respect. In a village on Phuket Island, Thailand, there is a tradition where the fatter a woman is, the more beautiful she is considered. Plump women are not only adored by men, but can also be crowned as the village's beauty queen. To become the village beauty queen, women eat non-stop throughout the day, indulging in calorie-rich foods, and even if they feel stuffed, they won't move. Eating and sleeping is their secret to maintaining their perfect figures. Plump women are the pride of their families, and men here never let them do any work. Their favorite pastime is cooking delicious meals for their wives. The woman before us is the village's second-ranking beauty queen. She's proudly showing off her favorite pair of denim shorts. And to put it mildly, the waistband of these shorts can easily fit an underage elephant. But she's delighted because her weight has increased again. She says her greatest joy in life is eating and sleeping, all to make her husband proud.
Sometimes you're not fat, you're just in a wrong country.
I'll be the most beautiful.
This can somehow be explained, as long ago, in starving, poor communities, it would mean that fat person is rich, have access to food, security, etc.
I see no grandmas.
Obesity can have a significant impact on mental health, leading to increased risk of depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem.
Oh right, I forgot, I'm the problem. It sounds like they just shouldn't be a shit human being. But it's my fault for the people bullying me, and it's my fault for reading it. Even though I'd really have to read it to even delete or to block the comments. But it's my fault, right? I should just not read it. Or they could just not be a shit person and not treat fat people badly. But it's my fault, I forgot.
Genuinely, why come back to the internet if everyone disagreeing with you on this topic you see as harassment?
Obesity is a major risk factor for many chronic diseases, including heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and cancer.
That was sugar?
She twisted the life out of that mayonnaise bottle.
No vegetables were harmed in the making of this reel.
Is this keto?
What in the type 2 diabetes did I just fucking witness?
If you were to stack all the fat cells in the average overweight person, they would reach to the moon and back 10 times.
Nepal wasting state funds.
Oh yes, real woman, because the pretty girl behind her is not real. I don't get it. Where is she plus size? She looks normal size to me and absolutely beautiful.
Were rules changed or she just happened to win in Nepal and no rules ever existed? Curious. It's crazy to me that it's 2023 and we're still having firsts like this.
I had to actually pull over and answer this right now because there's so much discourse in my comments about whether or not Miss Nepal is plus size, so let's get into it. It depends on who you ask in the industry, but as someone that has 14 years of experience in the industry as a plus size model and someone in a larger body for most of her career, plus size starts at 12. If you want to ask people who are Delulu, they might tell you a size 8 or a 10, but then you're getting into what's considered a mid-size, but plus size really is a size US 12. Now, is Miss Nepal plus size? I don't know. I was just going by all of the articles that were calling her plus size, but regardless, I don't think that it's good to be one of those people that kind of picks apart whether or not she is actually plus size and trying to pick apart her size. I understand the frustration as folks that might be in larger bodies see someone that is smaller or curvy and think, well, she's not plus size, she doesn't represent me. I understand that. I definitely used to be one of those people very early in my career, and I'm sorry I'm talking fast. It's obviously something I'm very passionate about, but I just don't think that we should pick apart exactly what size she is, because plus size, curvy, whatever, it was definitely the first time that we were seeing someone with a curvier body type like that on the stage for Miss Universe. And also shout out to the 2 contestants that were trans as well. I think that that is absolutely iconic, and it's nice to see that things are shifting a little bit, hopefully. So I hope that clears it up, and let me know if you guys have any more questions. Let's just be happy for her, okay?
I just realized I'm no longer plus size and it makes me kind of sad. Not the commenter saying she looks normal size, or insinuating that plus size isn't beautiful.
Miss Universe 2023, preliminary swimsuit round, contestant no, 1027, Jane Debunking Garrett.
It's good to see people being confident with what they actually are.
She deserves to be the new Miss Universe. She is a real woman and represent what in a real woman in every country.
She deserves to win the Miss Buffet Universe, WTH.
Inclusivity was the core of this year's contest as it witnessed delegates from all over the world, of various gender identities, statuses and sizes. Amongst them all, it was Miss Nepal 2023 Jane Debunking Garrett that broke new ground, say the tabloids.
If you are obese, please don't ever let a doctor or a healthcare provider tell you that you need to lose weight before they investigate further a symptom that you're having. If they want to delay getting a lab or getting imaging or having you see a specialist, if they want to delay that because they say you need to lose weight first, you need to push back on that person, or you need to find someone else, because your health problems are not just blamed on your obesity or the amount of fat tissue that you have. You are allowed to have other health problems as well, and you deserve the respect and dignity of investigating those other symptoms as well.
One view may be, if you want your doctor to take you seriously, you should also take your health seriously.
I had a doctor write a letter a few months ago saying I was too fat and that why my feet was so swollen. Turns out it was dang high blood pressure meds.
Today, we're delving into a topic that many of fat acceptance activists preach: why most diets fail in the long run and, more importantly, how we can break free from this cycle and achieve lasting health.
What do people not comprehend? I do not want to lose weight. I spent 15 years of my life dieting on and off, and I was fucking miserable. Oh no, I'm not going to harm myself again by going on a diet. No.
Not wanting to lose weight and not wanting to go on a diet are completely different things.
Plus eating is life. I am miserable eating salads.
The
restrictive nature of many diets makes it challenging to sustain over the long term, leading to frustration and, ultimately, regaining lost weight.
You seriously can't be happy though, mate. Sorry, didn't get the rest of your comments. Why can't you be happy? Why can't you be happy and be big? Right? You can be, all sorts of things and still be happy. Your size and your image shouldn't define you as a person. It shouldn't tell you how to be or how to feel. You as a person should know how you feel. And I feel very happy right now. Do you know why? Because I'm succeeding at things, My son's having a great life. We've got a lovely house. We've got a lovely car. We've got money coming in. We're surviving. We're living. We're having fun. I've just come off of a BBC Three show. Like, my ultimate dream was to be an actor. And I'm still continuing to get acting jobs come through.
But what about overall well-being?
I'm going to Budapest soon to play a character in a new Netflix film as well. I'm going there 5 times, actually. It's a bit of a long one. But anyway, it's going to be an amazing experience, and it's an amazing opportunity for me to really get even further into where I want to be. I've had the opportunity to work with some of the most talented people in the comedy industry and TV industry in the UK. I've had the opportunity to be part of a successful TV show and achieve my dream of being on a BBC Three comedy. Because initially it was, I wanted to do something like Gavin and Stacey, James Corden vibe. That's what I was aiming for. That was my initial dream. So I feel like people assuming that I'm big and I'm unhappy because I'm big is incorrect.
What follows is not a fat acceptance thing.
I'm losing weight because I'm on a journey to have better health for future, because obviously everyone knows that you don't see fat people in, an old people's home. Like, it's just common sense. I'm not a fool. I'm not an idiot. I'm fully aware of that, and that's why I'm going to stop that from happening. I'm going to stop myself from putting myself at risk as I get older. I'm 29 years old, still fairly healthy. I mean, I've got no health conditions, no problems. So the point is that I'm on a journey to better myself. I'm succeeding at all the things that I want to achieve. And I've got everything that I want in life. At this current moment in time, I'm happy because I have everything that I want and what I've wanted in life. So that's what makes you happy, succeeding and achieving and having a good family and good support.
And a burger.
Big targets, and you achieve these big things that you've always wanted to do. That is what gives you happiness, and the money too. I mean, ultimately what I'm saying to you is that don't look at someone and just think that they're unhappy because they're overweight or they're disabled or they look different from everyone else, because you'd be more surprised to know that actually those people are probably more happy than what you are. Someone who's the perfect example of an attractive, good-looking human being can sometimes be more depressed and feel a lot worse inside than someone like myself who's overweight but still happy. You can never judge a book by its cover is what I'm getting at. So don't judge a book by its cover, and remember, these are the true words. I am happy, okay? And it's not a facade. I'm not acting. I'm not putting on a show. I'm genuinely happy in myself and my family, and I just want to improve my health long term.
If you were happy, you wouldn't spend your life trolling trolls.
Wait, he's on a weight loss journey. He's happy because he had a bucket of KFC waiting for him after the video.
Bit of sweat under your chins there.
But if you're so happy with yourself, why are you on a weight loss journey?
Diets often rely on drastic changes that are hard to maintain. Rapid weight loss might occur initially, but the sustainability of these changes is often overlooked. Many diets create a short-term fix rather than a sustainable lifestyle change.
How will that fix it? Because guess what? I feel sexy at the size that I am now. Hello? My bills wouldn't be paying otherwise. But we live in a fatphobic society. And I know not every fat person feels this way. That's why I've created my whole page, to help other fat people like themselves and not hate themselves because our fatphobic society tells them to. So I don't know what you're talking about, because also, guess what? When I was thinner, when I was smaller and when people can assume or qualify it as me not being fat, guess what? Hated myself even more. Did not feel sexy. And guess what? I felt sexy when I accepted myself for who I am. And I did that at my biggest weight. So no, losing weight will not fix it. People lose weight all the time and are still fucked up in their head because the issues that they have to deal with, they didn't solve them up here. They just expected them to follow through with their body changes. And that's not how it works. If you don't fix this, nothing you do with your body will matter.
But the saying goes, a healthy mind in a healthy body.
The idea that thin equals healthy is such bullshit.
Mindset plays a crucial role. Viewing healthy eating as a punishment or a temporary measure can set us up for failure. It's about shifting our perspective from a short-term goal to a lifelong commitment to our well-being.
Content warning for dieting, weight loss, and eating disorders in this video. So to answer this question, there is kind of a short answer and a long answer. The short answer is no. What we know about lipedema is that any sort of just like setting out to lose weight, setting out to lose fat does not impact the lipedema tissue. That is to say that diet and exercise alone will maybe help you lose the regular fat tissue on your body, but the lipedema tissue and the subsequent pain, mobility issues, etc. are not impacted by regular weight loss. That being said, if the disorder goes untreated, you will continue to gain weight through both the disordered fat tissue and fluid retention.
Obesity and lymphedema are very much interlinked. If you are overweight, losing some weight will be beneficial for preventing and reducing all forms of lymphedema.
Because once you get to stage 4, that is lipolymphedema, which is the lipedema fat, disordered fat tissue, plus lymphedema, which is the pooling up of lymph fluid in the body. And lymphedema can, if left untreated, impact really the entire body, meaning that you gain even more additional weight. In my case, my flare-up began about 2.5 years ago, and in that time, I gained over 150 pounds. And in that time, I was eating a very normal amount of food and exercising quite a bit.
A normal diet couldn't get you here in the first place.
Which is why people say that lipedema is diet and exercise resistant. And it's also why people with lipedema are very, very prone to eating disorders, because we go a lifetime of eating normally and continually gaining weight. And because we continually gain weight, a lot of times we're like, oh, I must be overeating, so I'm going to eat less. And then when you still don't lose weight, then you eat less. You still don't lose weight, eat less. That is how eating disorders develop. All that being said, with proper treatment, weight loss will occur. Because with proper treatment, that excess fluid will get processed out of the body, and some of the lipedema tissue will also get broken down through targeted massage and can actually get reabsorbed into the body. And then of course, if you get the lipedema tissue surgically removed, that would also result in a weight loss. And what we know from anecdotal evidence is that if people have lipedema and they do either get weight loss surgery or they undergo some sort of fat loss situation, typically their pain may even worsen, at least from what I've heard. And the parts of the body that are impacted most by the lipedema will remain the size that they were prior to the weight loss. But most people who do attempt intentional weight loss with lipedema, whether they know they have it or don't, have a very difficult time with it. It is, I'm not going to say impossible, but it is just very, very difficult. And again, doesn't necessarily improve any of the symptoms being experienced.
Necessarily.
That being said, with proper treatment, as I said before, weight loss will occur. I got diagnosed at the end of May this year, probably around May 20th. At that point, I began treatment, and between then and today, I have lost over 100 pounds. But My clothes fit mostly the same. You wouldn't really know that I lost over 100 pounds because, one, it was not something that I intended to do. It's just how my body responded to the treatment, which makes a lot of sense because, as I said before, during the flare-up, I gained, over the course of 2.5 years, 150 pounds. So then with treatment, that weight, which was primarily fluid, was now and is now being processed out of my system. In the month of July, in my calves alone, 11 liters of fluid were processed out of my body. We know that because we took measurements at the beginning of July and we took measurements at the end of July. And there's a computer program that my lymphatic therapist used to calculate how many liters of fluid were moving out of my calves, and it was 11 liters. So really the too long didn't read is no, but weight loss can be a sign that treatment is working.
How do you get lipedema?
There are some interesting studies about low-carb, healthy keto diet having a positive impact on breaking down and losing lipofat. Worth looking into.
So, how do we break free from the diet cycle? It's about embracing a holistic lifestyle change. Instead of drastic, unsustainable measures, focus on small, gradual changes that you can maintain over time. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about consistency. Small, sustainable changes lead to a healthier lifestyle that you can maintain for the long haul. In conclusion, let's ditch the diet mentality and embrace lasting health. It's not about a quick fix. It's about creating a life where well-being is a priority. Your health journey is uniquely yours, and every positive choice is a step towards a healthier, happier you.
For the millionth fucking time, just because a fat person exists does not mean that they want your unwanted and unsolicited health advice. Let me say it again. Fat people's existence, me existing, doesn't mean that we automatically want your unwanted and unsolicited health advice.
Leave fat people alone, damn it!
But this comment is clearly with good intention, not a hate. Don't be jealous.
For real, like a video on the internet does not equal consent. Your videos may be public, but that doesn't give them the right to give health advice.
Every step towards a healthier you is a step towards a brighter future.
Join me on a thought process I've had recently. When we make intentional weight loss the primary goal of bringing health-promoting behaviors into our life, oftentimes that goal becomes a barrier to those very same behaviors. And this is not me saying that you shouldn't want to lose weight or whatever. I don't care what you do with your own body. And the calories in, calories out people, you need to leave. You probably have Chem 2 homework that you should be doing. Leave me alone. Way more complicated than that. What I'm actually saying is when I hear someone say they want to get healthy, lose weight, they start exercising more, eating more nutritiously, prioritizing sleep, drinking their water, blah, 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 and they don't see the weight loss goal that they had set up for themselves, so they stop doing all of those behaviors. Now the goal has become a barrier to all of those health-promoting behaviors. The goal can just be doing those behaviors. You may or may not see weight loss as a result, but science supports your health outcomes will improve regardless of what the scale does. Then you got to ask yourself, did I want to get healthy or did I just want to get small?
Can it be both?
I have said to my naturally thin MIL that I would need to become less healthy to lose weight intentionally.
I told my similar mill that you can't force a collie to be a chihuahua, ya gotta appreciate each for their own. I'm a Saint Bernard. It's fine.
Celebrate every small victory on your journey to a healthier you. Progress, no matter how small, is a triumph worth acknowledging.
No Nuance November. Every single time a movie, a television show, or a play has used a fat suit on a thin actor, they would have gotten a better performance had they hired an actual fat actor.
How would you know? Are you maybe a casting director? Your health is an investment, not an expense. Make choices today that your future self will thank you for.
I seriously recommend turning comments off.
I've been getting this advice for years, and guess what? No. Like, no. I understand you're not coming from an asshole place, but no. Again, I shouldn't have to censor the space and the community I've created online just to not get abused, just to not get harassed, just to get not shat on by fucking other people. I'm not the problem. I'm tired of fucking changing for other fucking people. I am not the problem here. Other people's fat phobia is the problem. Other people's unwanted advice is the problem. I don't need to change. They need to change. And I'm not going to censor myself and my community because guess what? Turning the comments off, it harms me, harms my videos, and it harms my community of the people who actually want to comment and who I want to engage with. So thank you, but no, I'm not the problem here.
Turn off your comments as take up less room with different words.
Choosing health isn't about conforming to societal standards. It's about respecting your body and giving it the care it deserves.
Some of y'all make no fucking sense. In one breath, you will tell fat people to only eat salads, to eat less food, and to eat more veggies. And then when said fat person dies, y'all are like, oh my god, why are you grilling lettuce? Why are you eating the lettuce like that? Why are you sauteing the lettuce? Isn't it soggy? Is that still crunchy? Why are you eating it like that? So which one is it?
Why are you talking like that?
That's my I think you're stupid voice, Mom. You know that. So which one is it, folks? Tell me to eat more lettuce, you tell me to eat more vegetables, and then I do, and then you're fucking upset about it. So make up your mind, people. Make up your mind, or how about we just stop commenting on what people eat? I like that one the best. My fucking god.
So stop commenting what others comment.
What a perfect example of weaponized incompetence. Try raw, boiled, or steamed veggies, Sherlock.
Losing weight isn't about fitting into a mold. It's about freeing yourself from the burdens that excess weight can bring. Choose freedom. Choose health.
No one is glorifying obesity. Everyone is glorifying thinness. People keep telling me all the time how beautiful I am now that I'm a size 2. It's like, oh, I wish I was that skinny. How did you do it? No one was telling me, oh, I wish I was fat like you when I was a size 18. Stop saying people are glorifying obesity. We're all glorifying thinness to the point of making people sick.
What is this logic?
Become fat and crush the patriarchy, sis. No one is stopping you. Why you let men keep you down?
She may have a medical reason for her weight loss. Either way, it's none of your business and you shouldn't assume.
Fun fact. People with less than a high school degree have the highest obesity rate.
Good morning. It's been a minute. Let's get ready for swim class. My message for today is that you still need to take care of yourself. I've been seeing some videos from my mutuals about how over the past month and a half, they have been not taking care of themselves as well as they normally do, which makes sense. It makes sense. And I just want to remind you that as we continue fighting for a better world, you still have to eat. You still have to drink water. You still have to take care of your disabilities, your medical care. We need to keep ourselves at baseline so that we can continue fighting.
Fighting what?
Fighting for the world that we want to see, the world that we want to live in. And my ability to make this video is only because of the immense privilege that I hold. Not just globally right now or for my entire life, but like my ability to get medical care at all in our country is because of my immense privilege. These fights have been going on much longer than I have been alive, let alone cognizant and able to speak on them, let alone speak on them on the internet. But I can only speak for myself, knowing that I have been invested in these fights for long enough to know that like letting yourself go beyond your capacity to the point where you can no longer fight doesn't help anybody. I'm going to share this post from the collectress that really helped me rethink some things about the way that I have been mobilizing. And I think it's important for everyone to continually assess how you are treating your body and to continually ask yourself what you need to do to remain engaged, to remain active, to remain fighting. And then I'm also going to share this post that talks about ways to mobilize for Palestine specifically, but these things are kind of relevant for any justice movement that you're a part of as a disabled person. I love you.
Fighting obesity should be your goal. Fighting diabetes, fighting diseases.
OMG, I love that cow bathing suit, it's so cute. Where did you get it? Your waist is so shrinking.
Fun fact. The overall obesity rate increases for older age groups until the age of 60.
So I just want to say one thing that's very frustrating and annoying as a fat person is experiencing a lot of bullshit and discrimination and all this stuff, and then people saying that's never happened to you. Like, come on.
They think we are all lying and making this stuff up.
Fun fact. The government should have forced cheese companies to put pictures of obese people on their packaging, in the same way regulators require cigarette makers to put disgusting pictures related to smoking on cigarette packages.
One thing we can always count on from celebrities is that they will stay out of touch, because what is this? Last time I checked, Emrata wrote a book about body positivity and female empowerment. And I would venture to say that this is accomplishing the opposite of this. Even if it doesn't trigger you, or even if it doesn't bother you, do you think that that is aligned with the message that she wants to send? I want to know how this got through the creative director, her and her team, especially considering that one of the main complaints from the fashion industry about why they cannot accommodate for sizes outside of the typical range is that it's too hard to make or too complicated, and yet here they are, providing it to someone that doesn't need it. And what's the intention for Emily of posing in a pair of pants that we know that she has never worn? What message is she trying to send? Plus, this post is in fact still up at this point in time.
My body size is not a joke. Like, that's so sad to see this is still happening in 2023.
Does someone on her team dislike her?
Obesity is a real disease that can be rooted in the brain.
There's nothing wrong with my body. Fat is not a dirty word. If my body tells me something, I will make sure it is heard. If my body is a vessel, I will give it what it needs.
Fun facts. Keeping weight off long term is difficult, and a lot of it is due to hormones. Curbing carbohydrates can help with weight management.
Americans gain 8 to 10 pounds during holidays. Don't let that be you.
I don't know whether to blame Orange Theory Fitness or the ignorant girls making this video, but the level of discrimination in this messaging is a crying shame. Let us count the ways. Number 1. The thin character knocks the donut out of the fat character's hand. The intent here is to shame and expose the character's perceived moral flaw, and presumably encourage her to stop eating, so she can free herself of the weight she put on at Christmas. It goes without saying, no one has ever responded to food shaming by saying, yeah, I feel so encouraged now that I've been demoralized and deprived. But beyond that, this policing of food choices is what people do to fat folks all the time, and it's got to stop. Then the obviously thin girl comedically wearing a fat suit is a total power move disguised as comedy. Dear thin people, by mockingly portraying a fat body, we dehumanize fat folks and reinforce the stereotype that they are inferior. By supremacizing her thinness, she reinforces the idea that fat folks should be mocked and ridiculed, and implies that looking thin like her instead is morally superior. Listen, movement is a great thing, and everyone deserves to feel welcome without conditions. But those spaces become hostile when ignorant a-holes like this hold their bodies up as pinnacles of success.
And adding to it the fat suit issue is that the suit is a sumo wrestler suit, which also is not good.
I think that girl was afraid of even touching that donut with her mouth. This whole thing is terrible.
Throughout this video, we're delving into one of the most talked about diets, the ketogenic diet, or as many call it, the keto diet. Stick around as we break down the science behind ketosis and explore the pros and cons of the keto diet.
And I hate waking up because of how hard and painful it is being in this body now. I can't really lay down anymore, you know? I can't breathe if I do, because my weight pushes the air out of my body. So I started sleeping in my chair, but I hate that because it means that I can't sleep by my wife Amber anymore. She's usually gone by the time I get up. She's a school teacher and so am I. I teach theater, but I've been on medical leave for a while now. Because of how hard it is for me to get around at the size I'm at. I'm at a point now where it's painful to do anything. I think other people take for granted the ability to just move, you know, and not be in pain all the time. Like, I'm constantly in pain even sitting. Go use the restroom. But the dogs, if I don't let them out, then they'll have accidents around the house. I won't be able to clean it up. So I push myself to let them do what they need. Grandma house, let's go. But after that, I have to get to where I can rest as soon as possible. And I already want to go back to bed. But in the morning, I have to get clean.
I haven't worked because I've been on medical leave for a while now? Why do these people lie his fat ass hasn't worked for years?
Do you think that the system is supporting this lifestyle? Let's take a moment to appreciate the delicious array of foods that make up the keto diet. From avocados to bacon, it's a diet that challenges conventional wisdom about what's good for us.
Binge eating is when someone eats a large amount of food in a short period of time. A lot of people use binge eating to cope with their emotions. Everybody has things that they struggle with, but for most people, you can't see what it is just by looking at them. I also understand that it might seem confusing since it looks like I'm eating all of this yummy food. When you eat so much to the point of feeling sick or actually getting sick, it's a horrible disorder I wouldn't wish on anyone, so.
It's crazy cause part of my doesn't even want the food, but I still am gonna eat it.
That's so real. I literally have sat crying in my car eating 30 worth of Taco Bell alone before I got home asking myself why when I don't want it.
It's called self-control, it's not a disorder.
The keto diet is designed to induce a metabolic state called ketosis, where your body shifts from using carbohydrates for energy to burning fat. This process leads to the production of ketones, which become the primary fuel source.
Have you noticed that in the last year, all your favorite celebrities are appearing skinnier than they ever have before?
Yes, absolutely I have. And as a dietitian who practices from a weight-inclusive, weight-neutral lens, this is absolutely terrifying, and let me tell you why. I have had multiple clients in the past few weeks who actually need this medication, it's called Ozempic, for their health, who are unable to get it because it's being overprescribed for things like this. For aesthetic purposes, for people who just desire losing weight, who don't actually need the medication to manage their health. And this is a perfect example of how fatphobic our society is and how people feel so much pressure to shrink their bodies and look a certain way, even going so far as to take a life-altering medication.
How would you decide who needs it and who don't?
Blame pharma for not producing enough, not people for bettering their quality of life.
You should educate yourself on the other reasons someone may have been prescribed this, such as hormonal imbalances, PCOS, metabolic disorders, obesity.
So why are doctors prescribing it?
Many people turn to keto for weight loss, improved mental clarity, and increased energy levels. Some even claim it helps manage conditions like epilepsy and type 2 diabetes.
Being 15 and around 350, I didn't really try to make friends. I kept to myself, and after school, I just go home and eat. When you get upset, you reach for that ice cream, you know? And I can finish ice cream like nobody's business. But things did get a little better toward the end of high school. That's when I fell in love with theater. It was theater that made me feel like I could be who I wanted to be. I still to this day think that my theater teacher in the high school level was probably one of the ones that helped get me through. It was around the same time when I found out my mom was diagnosed with cancer. And ironically, at that time, I was playing a cancer patient while my mom was going through the cancer treatment. So it allowed me to really deal with it in a safe place. I chose a college based on theater. I was still eating a lot and gaining. And by the time I graduated, I was around 450 pounds. But immediately after I graduated, I got a job at a high school in Longview. And that's where I met my wife, Amber.
From the first time I saw Nathan, I could see what made him special. He's a great person. He is an amazing theater director. He is an amazing teacher. And having similar backgrounds with food was something I saw as a positive back then. And that was one of the things that I was attracted to, was the idea that he would be a partner for me to keep focusing on my journey with.
You want a cheese stick?
No, thank you. But shortly after we got married, Nathan went to a doctor to try and get weight loss surgery.
So I actually got approval for surgery because I had lost enough weight and I didn't have the copay, and so they canceled my surgery. And I guess at that point I was like, forget it, I'm done. I'm just eating however I want to.
You want a bite? Last bite of sweets?
Sure.
That's when all of his motivation went by the wayside really quickly.
I guess I felt like I wasn't good enough. And I know that disappointed Amber a lot because she didn't hide her disappointment in me at all when I started gaining again.
She has no room to talk.
Adapting to the keto lifestyle can be tough initially, leading to what's commonly known as the keto flu. It's important to monitor your nutrient intake and stay hydrated to avoid potential pitfalls.
Let me make something abundantly clear to you right now. My desirability will always come into question. I will always go to the headspace of wondering how lovable and fuckable I am because I grew up a fat person who felt completely undesirable my whole life. I hate to come on here in such an emotional state, but it's something that I have to just come to terms with. And feeling a lack of desirability in a world that teaches us that our desirability is the one thing we have to give has put me in situations which I wish I was never in. I have made choices from the feeling of lack of desirability that I wish I could take away with every fiber of my being. I've been a version of myself that has been so small and so beaten down and ended up with people who should never have had access to me because I was always searching for the feeling of desirability. The reason why I feel so compelled to be on the internet and just show the complexities of living in a fat body is because I would do anything in my power to make it so nobody ever had to feel this. It's hard enough being a woman, especially a woman that grew up in the 90s where it seemed like this was at an all-time high. Not to say that previous generations didn't get it really bad, but like, I lived through the Britney Spears era, and we were taught if you weren't fuckable, you had nothing. So desirability is something that keeps coming back into my life. It keeps rearing its ugly head, and I keep facing it and cowarding over how big it feels. But instead of living in the shame of feeling like I can't tell people how much I struggle with this, it's just not working anymore. I'm 36, I'm going to be 37 years old next year, and I don't want to live like this anymore. I was telling my friend this today, and all she could say was, please don't let this be your story. Please do not let this be your story. And I'm trying really hard because, God, is it ever hard? Is it ever hard to do something different in the face of that fear? But I'm trying to understand that desirability isn't the only thing that's at play here. As a person, I have often felt many times over that who I am is just not someone who's worthy of love. And I don't know how, at times, to feel like I am. And maybe now is one of those moments I just don't. All I know is that I have this voice that I was given, and I have this platform somehow. And maybe, just maybe, in tackling this publicly, I can feel so much less alone. Because I don't want to live like this anymore. And I don't think anyone deserves to live like this. We deserve better.
Live like what?
You'll make all these speeches and won't hit the gym.
I spend an average of 14 to 16 hours a week at the gym. I'm still fat. You obviously have no clue that you're talking about.
The million-dollar question. Is the keto diet right for everyone? The keto diet isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. It's essential to consider your individual health goals, lifestyle, and any underlying health conditions before diving in.
When we'd go to eat, I physically was getting ill from watching him eat. He would eat his food. He would eat an appetizer. We would have a dessert. He would eat my leftovers, and it would make me just absolutely just disgusted. When Nathan decided he didn't want to try and lose weight anymore, I told him I was disgusted with what he was doing, and I basically told him he was an embarrassment. I'm driving to the grocery store because that's what me and Dad needed to do.
I want to be off experiencing things with my family, but I can't because of my size. And now I feel like grocery shopping is the only thing that me and Amber really have left together. And it's the only thing we do together aside from eating. And if you took eating and food out of our relationship, we wouldn't have anything left now, really. Damn carts. Thank God.
Yeah. Ow, ow. For 3 years, Nathan's health has not allowed us to completely do those things that we enjoy. And our relationship is very strained because of the amount of care that I have to give him. And I miss being able to have, I guess, an intimate relationship, not like a sexual relationship, because Nathan and I have never. That's not what it's about, but just like being able to spend quality time with each other where it doesn't involve care. That's what I want that we don't have anymore. And I'm very scared I'm going to be just like Nathan, I would say within the next 4 to 5.
Isn't she a bitch?
Ma'am? I'm confused. The kettle calling the pot black.
No mirrors in your house?
If you're thinking about trying the keto diet, here are some tips for success. Plan your meals, focus on whole foods, and don't forget to consult with a healthcare professional before making any significant dietary changes.
What I eat in a day is a fat bitch. Let's go. So the night before, a bitch had too much liquor, you know what I mean? So I woke up this morning sick as hell. So I couldn't even put cream cheese or salami or nothing on the bagel, bitch. It was a plain bagel and some water. Then I already had the liquor shits, so I got a small coffee on the way out of town because I was gonna shit myself. Then we went to Texas Roadhouse for lunch, and you knew a bitch had to get the cinnamon fucking butter and rolls and fuck. Okay, then we got cheese fries, because what does a fat bitch look like not eating cheese fries? And Texas Roadhouse's ranch is the best. Argue with someone else, because I don't know what to tell you.
You don't have OCD. You have obesity.
Bruh.
Okay, thank you.
Daily calorie needs range from 1,600 to 2,400 calories per day for adult women, with the low ends of the ranges being for sedentary people and the high ends for those who are active.
This is just sad.
This is what a fat girl eats in a day 35. If you don't like seeing a fat person stuff their face with food, scroll away now. So I had crumpets for breakfast, and whilst they were in the toaster, I made myself an iced coffee. I used one of these sachets because I could not be asked to make actual coffee. You're only meant to add water, but I feel like it's just too watered down, so I also added some milk too. Gave it a quick stir, and by the time that was done, my crumpets were ready. So I whacked some butter on both of them, and then I also added cheese on top of one of them. Listen, don't come at me. If you haven't tried cheese on a crumpet, try it and then come back to me. Anyways, I skipped lunch because I had to go make some content, but when I got back I made Nando's chicken for me and my sister. We also had rice, mash and asparagus with it. Honestly, one of my favourite dinners, hands down. And then I've actually been craving eclairs, so I brought myself chocolate eclairs, and there's me just munching on it after dinner. Yes, I'm scoffing my face, and what? Anyways, that's it. Come back for tomorrow. Love ya!
This is actually very low.
What? You don't even eat a lot. I'm way younger than you and I eat more than you.
What I eat in a day as a fat person. For breakfast, I had this sushi bowl that I bought at Publix. I think it had salmon in it, but it was really good. Then I got an iced vanilla latte with almond milk from Scooters. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I got the large, but I only drank half. Then I made this taco salad, and it was so good. It had salsa, sour cream, some nacho cheese protein chips. Oh my gosh, I loved it. Then for a snacky poo, I had some pineapple. I also had jerky, but I didn't film it. And then I ended the day with a literal plate of rotisserie chicken.
This does not make you fat.
She eats less than me.